All right, on the Flat Rate Master, today we're talking about your body will betray you. You're gonna get old. Don't tear up your body for the sake of your job. I've talked about this many times, and I always revisit this subject because, quite frankly, it's so important for young technicians. You only get one body. Period. End of story. I know there'll be comments about my weight. I know. I live in it. But there's some stuff I want to talk about besides just my weight and some other stuff that you really need to be aware of. Sacrificing your body to make a couple extra tenths is not good. Bench pressing heavy parts into a vehicle is not good for your body. The more you tear up your back, the number one injury of automotive technicians is their back. If you do not want to be crippled over like an old man in your 40s, take care of your back. And what I mean by that is obviously lifting correctly, not stooping over when working on a vehicle, raise a vehicle up so you're at a comfortable working height and not stooped over. Believe me, that's really important. For context, I'm about to be 50 this year. Now let me tell you a story about contrast between me, at the time 48-year-old man, versus a 33-year-old man. I'd gone to the doctor, and one of the things he had me do was touch my toes. You know, legs not bent, straight, bend over, touch your toes. I can touch my toes. A friend of mine that I used to work with cannot. The reason I'm able to do that is because of the stuff I do to make sure I'm not hurting myself. I don't have a bad back. I don't have issues with my back. Every now and then I might get a pinched nerve in my back, but generally my back does not hurt. The only time it hurts is when I'm in a certain position for way too long, obviously under a dash, or I did something to hurt it, i.e. picking up something wrong. Now I have knee problems, and I've had knee problems since I was 15. Told this story many times. I've had the same problem. My knees hurt. Something I've lived with my entire adult life. Working out doesn't help it. Doesn't. For anybody in the audience, riding a bike, going on a Stairmaster, none of that stuff helps them. So don't even comment. I've tried it all. It just pisses them off even more. Even working past the pain, it don't feel better. They feel the exact same no matter how much I walk, no matter how much I run. Running actually really pisses off my knees. Just an FYI, bike riding doesn't help them. Nothing helps them. Eventually, I'm going to probably have to have knee surgery, but it's not anything that is from this job. It's something I've had forever. I've had it since I was 15. My daughter has the exact same knee problems I do. Now, the point of this video is taking care of yourself. Obviously, I'm fat, so I'm not going to give you exercise advice. Now, I do have caution about weightlifting, especially. You're putting a lot of strain on a lot of tendons and muscles that you use every day. Now, if you're just trying to maintain and tone, fine. But if you're going to try to bulk up and increase muscle mass and increase what you can deadlift and all that stuff, the chances of injuries are huge. And just like bending over wrong, ripping your muscle off your bicep is really, really bad for you. Ask a former coworker who worked out all the time. He did that. So on that same note, be careful about how you work out. Work out for longevity, not for gains. If you're trying to gain for some reason, you're going to hurt yourself in different ways, i.e. weightlifting injuries. So you're working out and actually decreasing your longevity in this industry in a different way, not on the job. You know, you don't get workman's comp for ripping a muscle off your arm. You don't get one for breaking a tendon. unless you can prove it happened during the work, and then you probably weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing anyway, so no. So it's really important to maintain your body in a good state of health as far as, yes, weight. Don't be trying to push your body so hard that you break it in life in general and at the shop. I know this is very preachy and I'm coming from a fat boy, but I don't have the issues that a lot of 30-year-olds have. I don't go to work in utter pain. I don't. A lot of 30-year-olds complain about back problems. A lot of 30-year-olds complain about knee problems. A lot of 30-year-olds have torn up their shoulders. I don't have any of those problems. To give you the last bit of context about me, I don't have back pain. I've got knee pain, but I've had it forever. My only issue nowadays is I'm starting to get some arthritis in my hand. Look up trigger finger. I've got one of those now. Just means when you bend your finger, it pops and doesn't want to come back open. Part of arthritis, and I'm getting old. I still can grip things. I still can do things. It's just a part of getting old and using, repetitive motion a lot with your hands. I don't know any way to not do that other than using power tools. But take care of yourself. You do not want to damage your body permanently. It's hard. This job is hard enough. Don't increase the damage. I know this was preachy because it's important. But for you youngins out there, you're not immortal. You will get hurt, and it may be seriously damaging to your career or your mobility. We've all seen the old guys walking around the Waffle House bent over because they spent their life tearing up their body. Don't be like that. So I appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.